One thing we stress a lot of is about trying to understand your palates, so that we can make sure that we can only present wines to you that you really love, and we do that through a short questionnaire that you can fill out, and it gives us an understanding of your kind of taste profile. But understanding how you taste, although it's a very important element in selecting wine, it is only half the picture. I mean, the real pleasure in enjoying wine is really when we pair it with food. And this is where you may think sometimes, oh, I really don't like a rich and creamy style white, or I'm really not happy with, really don't like the crisp and mineral styles. But when you pair them with food, it makes a whole difference to the experience. And it's really the style of wines paired with the style of food you're eating is extremely important in your overall enjoyment of a meal. And that's where we really put our emphasis. So with this taster pack, we really encourage you to try this, because within each pack you've got one wine from each type of flavour profile. So for example, on the crisp mineral whites, the wine we've got there is from Chateau Joliet down in Fronton in the south of France. And this wine is a kind of crisp, fresh wine, and is absolutely perfect with light dishes. So if you have it with seafood and sort of shellfish, it's absolutely delicious. If you had anything heavier, the problem might be that the wine would overpower the seafood. So there's a perfect pairing. We've then got an aromatic white, and the aromatic white we have that we're showing in this pack is from Chevigny in the Loire, the newest area in the Loire. And this Sauvignon blend is absolutely perfect with goat's cheese. It's got a lovely aromatic flavour, but it really works well with the creaminess of the goat's cheese, and it's absolutely delicious. Now when it comes to the rich and creamy whites, a lot of people, oh, I don't really like oaked Chardonnays or wines that are overly flavoured. Now, with the white wine, if you pair that with a dish that's a kind of creamy dish, or even a sort of a beef stroganoff type of dish, it really softens the wine, and the white wine will need a bit of weight to cope with the different sauces and flavours. So what you find there is actually the wine on its own tastes rich and creamy, but with the food, it becomes in perfect balance, and it emphasises the fruit. That sort of creamy texture is taken care of with the dish, and the emphasis is on the fruit, so it's a great experience. Moving on to the reds, if you look at the, we're showing a Valpolicella Classico from Gamba. This is a light and fruity red, and you want to pair this with dishes that are light as well, because if you had a red that was too heavy, it would overpower the food. So if you're having things like you know, meze and cold meats, light snacks, this is the perfect wine. Good sort of wine that you can put in the fridge. It has low tannins, and so if you put it in the fridge, the tannins won't be drying when you take it out of the fridge. It'll be a lovely fruity style wine. If you put a heavier wine in the fridge, it would be very difficult to drink. The smooth, silky wine we have is from California. It's a Barker's Merlot. Some people might find this heavy on its own, but if you pair this with a nice lamb dish, it's absolutely delicious. The wine softens the tannins, and the food works really well. Now moving on to a heavy red, that's very difficult to drink on its own. But when you pair this with a hearty stew, if you had a light red with a hearty stew, the wine will be completely overpowered. So you need a full-bodied heavy red to work with a stew and these sort of heavy, multifaceted flavoured dishes, and that works really well. So although the taste test is really important, and you can think, well, I only like light reds, or I only like aromatic whites, it's really worthwhile when you pair things with food. This is where the whole pleasure of wine begins, when you start to experiment and pairing your wine with food. So I really recommend this great value taster pack to get started and try the different dishes, and you know, we'd love to hear what you think. Thanks very much.